It's TMNT time. Hello and welcome to another figure review. Today we're going to have a look at the Neca, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, X, Universal Monsters, Michelangelo as the Mummy. Okay, I'm just going to stop making this noise. But the TMNT X Universal Monsters lineup, this is one of my favorite crossovers. And once again, they bring us Michelangelo as the Mummy. Its own design, kind of a little bit of a throwback to the old school Playmates toys where you had different Universal Monsters as TMNT's crossovers, but this one, it's a whole different ballgame. It's better, it's bigger, and also I think last time Raph was the Mummy. So, we got Michelangelo, and I can't wait. By the way, you do have the window opening over here, just showing you that if you want to keep the figure in the box and just look at it like this, you can do that. But I want to take it out, so let's go. Size of the Mummy, he stands at about 16.5 centimeters to the top of his head, which means we are going up to this is like almost 6.5 inches tall. Size comparisons. Here's Jalter, the SH Fig Art Son Goku, Neca Michelangelo, TMNT Adventures / Universal Monsters Raph as Frankenstein's monster, Leonardo as the Hunchback, Super 7 Donatello, and Darkseid. Overall look and detail of the figure, and I always gotta mention the fact that these Universal Monster figures are completely uniquely done. New design created by Neca to make these figures, and that's the part I really love so much about it. And they put a lot of work into the sculpt. First and foremost, you do see the skin is all wrinkled up, is all dirty, is all old, because obviously it's a mummy. He died and came back. One eye's shut, the other one's open, and he has a kind of like a deceased expression, if that's even a word, but if I can say it like that. The point is, you do get a very different head sculpt, and I'm going to show you that later once we get to the accessories, but you do have a bunch of dry brushing also all throughout, especially you can see it in the bandana, but also in the wrinkles. You see it's a lot darker in there. The bandages have a ton of detail already molded in and have the same kind of dry brushing going in, so you do have a lot more dark spots and a lot more of a dirty look to it. I especially gotta give shout outs to the shell. I love what they did here. You have like the 2003 foot symbol, which is like, is that a hint, Neca? No, I think they said they wouldn't do those yet. Then we have a classic foot symbol, we have like an Unk, we have like 4 turtle symbols on these, like this one's covered up. This is like just a scarab symbol, and this one reminds me of something. Is that like the foot symbol in like the new show? I don't remember. I've seen this logo, it seems kind of mangled, it should be more like a pentagon, but anyway. It got a ninja star and also another version of a ninja star. Oh, overall, very cool detail, once again. Elevated thanks to some dry brushing, even though like that turtle has a completely different color. Well, wait, this is supposed to be orange, and this one is kind of blue, but then you can't even see the other one. I think this one's supposed to be red or green, or I don't know. I guess they were going for something there. It's kind of hard to tell. Also, we have the belt, which has the scarab symbol in the front and some Egyptian eyes, which is like the classic stuff you see, and all kinds of like tombs and whatnot, pyramids. And we obviously have still some remains of the original TMNT design with the elbow pads, more bandages, and even like dirty fingernails once again. Moving down to the legs, we have some more wrapped up over here. This one hanging out a little bit, and a nice one over there. We have kind of like the same on the elbow pads in the back. A little bit of ripped up bandages. As you go down to the feet, we have the same dirt look on it. And overall, I mean, this piece is just something to behold as far as looks go. But what about the articulation? Yeah. So articulation for these guys in general is not great. It's fairly simple, but it works. Also, I gotta note this guy has a very wobbly on the head. I think it's like a dumbbell joint, so you can move that to the back, and you can shift it around a little bit and move it forward. It does tilt side to side and does go all the way around, but you also have some neck articulation, just a little bit of wiggle. It does have some side to side movement and a little bit of back and forth, but not really that much to talk about. You have the big hinge in the shoulder, as move that up and down, and also the double hinge in the elbow, which is pretty blocked by the elbow pad because it's fairly thick. Then we have the hand, which is just on a hinge once again, and you can swivel that around. And also, may I add a thing? You can barely see the joints on this figure. This is something I really appreciate. They kind of hidden most of it under the bandages, which is really cool. What's not hidden under the bandages is the torso articulation, because there is none. Haha, yeah. They didn't even have like the lower half, which maybe you could have rotated under there. They didn't do any of that, so again, that's the L of the articulation part. Then the leg moves forward, moves out to the side, and doesn't really move to the back because of the shell. Can rotate it on the ball, and you have the double hinged knees. Actually working very well this time around. Also I have like this kind of flesh piece under that just to cover it up. And again, and it looks so seamlessly, I love it. And down to the foot, which moves up and down, have the hinge in there, and also you can pivot it side to side. For the accessories, my favorite part, I'm just gonna show you right away. Here's the other face. Man, oh man, this looks gruesome. And also it kind of reminds me of the turtle suit that they found from the original TMNT movie. They recently found that and it was auctioned off and it looked all beat up, and it kind of reminds of this, and I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it's amazing. Also a lot more glossy in the teeth, but still, I love this face sculpt. We have a King Cobra, which you can move around as you like. It is on a wire, so you can pose it, can wrap it around his neck or whatever. Then we have the Chucks, haha, nunchucks, but as unks, which is really cool looking, has some gold on it, and as you all know, I love gold. And we have these kind of loose bandages. They are, from what I can understand, just to kind of wrap it around the head, or wrap it around any arm, just to display. And then finally you have the hands. You have two holding hands for your weapons, and two-faced hands for beating people up. Final thoughts for Michelangelo as the Mummy. Mummy-Angelo? I don't know, whatever. This figure is amazing. I love the look of it. The design, the idea, and really especially the dog vibe it has with it. You know, you're really bringing some adult movie horror monsters back to TMNT, combining the two in an epic crossover, reminiscent of the old school Playmates version, but better, bigger, darker. The only downside to it is, like with all of them so far, the articulation is fairly lackluster. If you're into like highly articulated figures, these ones, you know, it's good. They do the job. I'm not saying they're complete bricks, but in terms of like collectible articulated figures, you know, there's just nothing in the torso. You don't have biceps over and whatnot. And as I'm saying, I don't really mind it, because I think this is all about the looks, and they put a lot of care into the detail. Also, the quality control is good, and the joints are nice and tight, on this one at least. So, I don't really have any complaint. I love this line, and I will continue to support this line, so I will give it my recommendation. That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like, and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Michelangelo wants.